the January 6th committee subpoenaed Peter Navarro, who was a Trump advisor, and they did not just send a subpoena. They didn't just serve him. They served him, and he didn't respond. He claimed this was the statement that he provided about why he disregarded a congressional subpoena, because that's a big deal to do. That's not an advisable action in general to ignore a congressional subpoena. We have to respect our rule of law and the investigative and oversight role of the United States Congress. However, this was the statement from Peter Navarro. He said, over a 5-year period, Congress has weaponized the investigatory powers of Congress in a way that's unconstitutional. Congress has the right to investigate, but only for non-punitive legislative purposes. What that kangaroo committee is doing now is investigating for punitive purposes. They're essentially acting as judge, jury, and executioner. And he makes a pretty good point, right? It's pretty evident what they're doing, and it's evident based on their behavior towards him. What did they do? He was about to get on a plane. They arrested him. The FBI arrested him as he was about to get on a plane to speak at a political conference. They arrested him for not responding to their subpoena. Compare this for a second to Michael Sussman. Michael Sussman, we talked about Michael Sussman briefly last week. He lied to the FBI about whether he, during the 2016 presidential election, whether he was working for a client, meaning Hillary Clinton, or whether he was acting alone as a concerned citizen when he told the FBI that he had evidence of Trump-Russia collusion. It was the Alpha Bank allegations. He told the FBI, no, I'm not working for any client. And it was obvious that he was working for Hillary Clinton. There's proof of that. Durham indicted him. He went to trial, and the jury acquitted him. They acquitted him. Why? Not because the evidence didn't prove that he had in fact lied to the FBI. The jury explained themselves and admitted that they simply didn't think that this was a big enough case that should have been prosecuted. So they played both the prosecution and the jury in this case. Why? Because they were radical leftists. They donated to AOC and to Hillary Clinton and to other Democrats. One of the jurors had a kid on a sports team with Sussman's kid. This extreme conflict of interest, this bias from this jury pool in Washington, D.C. And so think about this as a comparison. Sussman, who did commit a crime, a significant crime that allowed the Democrats who were in charge of government at the time to target President Trump the way that he did, he gets acquitted because of his politics. And then we have Peter Navarro, who was arrested at an airport. Like, what is he did he just pull an international heist? Is he a fugitive from justice? No. He declined a subpoena from a very biased, very partisan committee that has no credibility into staging a witch hunt. It's a two-tiered justice system. And again, think about Eric Holder. Eric Holder, former attorney general under the Obama administration, he was held in contempt of Congress, just like Peter Navarro was, because Eric Holder resisted a congressional subpoena relating to Fast and Furious, that gun running operation that the Obama administration was running that resulted in the death of a U.S. Border Patrol agent when he was murdered with one of the guns that the Obama administration let the Mexican drug cartels have, and then claimed that the reason that they were letting these cartels have our weapons is to track those weapons. A U.S. Border Patrol agent was murdered, and Eric Holder, attorney general at the time, was held in contempt of Congress for resisting a congressional subpoena. And what did the Obama Department of Justice do? Did they arrest Holder at an airport? Did they stage this massive dramatic handcuffing of Eric Holder? No, they did not. No, they did not. The Obama Department of Justice immediately announced that they weren't even going to prosecute Holder. They shrugged their shoulders. They didn't care. So where was Adam Schiff then? How big of a threat to our democracy was it at that time? Because it seems that there's a double standard. When it's a Democrat, it's totally fine, not a threat. When it's a Republican, well, call in the choppers, get the searchlights, bring out the canines. Let's have a massive arrest of an international fugitive. If the January 6th committee wanted to be taken seriously, then they would not be behaving in this way. They're behaving in this way for a reason. They're exposing their true colors. Their true colors is they're staging a partisan witch hunt in a way that's using the power of the federal government against us as American citizens, against our right to assembly, our right to free speech, our right to have political differences, our right to criticize the government. And they are, through their behavior, showing us that they are much more dangerous than what happened on January 6th, 2021.